Andrew, you'll probably be aware that Spurs have beaten City in 5 of the last 7 league games, and they have done it in a style that's kind of anathema to what you're going to do. Is there anything you can take from looking back at those games? I mean, will you watch those games and look back at them or not?
Well, I think there's a reason I'm sitting here. And the reason is that the end game is not to beat City. Yeah, because like you said, if that's the end game, then that's been done. There's a reason I'm sitting here. So, no, is the short answer. Not because I'm dismissive of that, because it's a hell of an achievement to knock them off, absolutely. But it's not why I'm here. It's not the end game. It's not, like I said, it's not. I'm not trying to set up a team to beat Manchester City. I'm trying to set up a team to be successful. And, you know, if that was enough, what you're suggesting, I wouldn't be sitting here. There'd be somebody else sitting here. So I take that as a kind of pointer to me about. And look, like, it's not, like I said, I understand why people would kind of think that way, and it's a legitimate question. Why wouldn't you do it if you know it's going to be successful? But I don't think I was appointed. Well, I'd be surprised if I was appointed and people would expect me to go down that route knowing who I am and sort of what I stand for as a manager.
You've said before how you quite enjoy the early stages of being a club when people are questioning you. So how much are you enjoying it right now at this game?
Yeah, I think I enjoy it after I've come out the other side. No, I love it, mate. I love it. It's just because it's, like I said, I don't think anyone goes into management or anything you do in life thinking it's going to be smooth. There's going to be some rough moments, and you've got to be prepared for that, and you've got to enjoy that. The alternative is I'm not in a job, you know, and I'm sitting on my couch and have no pressure on me, no one questioning anything. So being in a role, and look, I'm at a fantastic football club. I'm in the best league in the world, getting challenged every week. Why wouldn't I be enjoying it, every minute of it? But, you know, in these times, the reason I think I really sort of relish them is because, like I said, my belief gets tested on a daily basis, whether internally or externally. Because invariably, even internally, people will always ask you these questions. You know, can you do this? You know, are you able to still continue to play this way? Or, you know, is it working? Is it not working? All those kind of things. And, you know, when I lay my head at night, I just believe in it. And I get up next day thinking, I feel strongly about that. Now, you know, it may all end up in a heap, mate. I don't know, because there's no guarantees. But my gut tells me it won't. So I enjoy it.
I was struck with something you said a couple of weeks ago. I think after the Chelsea game, somebody asked you, "Is this your first big test?" And you said, "I know, maybe losing the best player ever in the Premier League competition was one of them." I was thinking, wow, you rate. I mean, obviously we all think Harry Kane's fantastic, but it sounded like you think he's the greatest player to ever have played in the Premier League. So by definition, is he even better than Erling Haaland?
I don't think I said he was the best. I think it was misinterpreted. I think he's the best ever here. But he'd be quite close, I reckon, Harry, in terms of Premier League greats. And I think there's a similarity there around their ability to finish and their focus on you know, scoring goals, really strong. Because, as we know, scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in our game, right? And finding players who do that on a regular basis is literally finding gold in our game, you know. And why it's so difficult is not so much a technical thing, even a tactical thing. It's really a mindset thing, because you know as a striker you're going to miss some chances. No one, even the best strikers in the world, will miss chances, and more often than not, it affects 95% of players who play that in that position, whether they like to admit it or not. That elite 5% just don't. You know, they've got a real laser eye focus, and you can see that in Erling. Harry certainly got it, and that's why they're so rare to come along. I think it's just a real, and I experienced that even with working with H here, you know, just for a little bit. You know, you watch him at training, he could put the ball exactly where he wanted to, time after time after time, and it's a rare sort of commodity, and you see it, like I said, with Erling as well, and I'm sure as he gets more experienced, and you know, because you've got to understand that every game that starts, whether you're Harry Kane or Erling Haaland, the opposition are going to try and stop you. You're not hiding in the shadows. It's pretty obvious. and yet they have the strong enough mindset to overcome that. It's not an easy thing to do.
Kieran, and then finish with Tom, please.
Just test your memory a little, going back to July 2019 when your Gahana played Pep City. Can you just talk through what can you remember of that, the build-up, the game itself, and then afterwards everyone was suddenly in awe because you had about 58% possession, which was just unheard of against City. I find it strange, everyone suddenly talking about that.
I remember it well because, and again, you got to put some context. They were in pre-season, we were kind of mid-season, so we were in good sort of physical condition. But it was one of those moments, a bit like what being questioned today, where you can play that game and sort of, okay, it was the year we won it and we were going really well, and it was important. It was kind of mid-season for us, and we could have gone into that game saying, okay, let's see if we can beat Manchester City. Let's just see if we can beat, and how can we go about trying to beat Manchester City? Or we can go in and just say, let's go play our football against Manchester City and see where that takes us. And that's what we did. I just said to the boys, just let's go, keep the ball, press them, be aggressive, just do what we do on a weekly basis and see. And you know what, if we get smacked 6-0, we get smacked 6-0, but we've measured ourselves. And we came out of that game, the players anyway, with real belief that, even against the very best, and like I said, they were in pre-season, so we understood that, but they felt really good about themselves, even though we lost 3-1 on the day. I think it was 3-1, yeah. The players felt really good about themselves, that they enjoyed it. They enjoyed that challenge. They got punished because Raheem was an unbelievable player. They never faced anyone like him before, but we actually played out a few times against real good press. We pressured them, we made them make mistakes, and we got belief out of it. And that's, I think, the only way you can. So, really, and for us as a group at that time, it was kind of the perfect exercise to say that, let's continue down this path. This is the team we want to be. And yeah, look, in the aftermath, some nice things were said, but then the next day people moved on, the circus left town, and I was left in Yokohama.
Just a quick one on Heung-min Son. The stats say he's actually made more sprints than any Premier League player this season. He's also been caught offside, I think. Is it just about sort of fine-tuning now that he's making those runs as a striker versus a winger, and that's sort of part of your job to try and coach him better as a new start?
Yeah, a little bit. Some of it is still us, I think, understanding. I think there's a couple of times, even last week, where just that millisecond, we could have played the ball a little bit earlier, and his timing was perfect. So it's part of it's just understanding, because obviously Sonny's a different kind of striker than sort of Harry was, who's been here for a very long time. So the players are kind of used to having a focal point is a bit different. So I think it's a combination of both. Sonny's sort of timing, but like I said, if we pass the millisecond early, his timing's actually perfect, because how are you going to catch a team, unless it's kind of perfect at both ends. So it's a bit of both. But what isn't undeniable is that even from offside positions, he's still finishing things. He's still scoring goals, and that's still, like I was saying before, that's still the hardest part of the game. I mean, I think it was the first one he's broken through. He's beaten Martinez so well on a one-on-one, which wasn't an easy finish. So the quality is there. It's just about, like I said, a little bit of his runs, but also us maybe seeing things just that little bit earlier.